Hi everyone, and welcome back to Scalar's Dashboard. This is part 2 of a two-part video introduction to the dashboard in Scalar. In this video, we'll discuss these last 3 tabs in the dashboard: Content, Users, and Utilities. Under the Content tab, you can globally manage all of the bread and butter of your book. Every piece of content you make in your book will result in a row here. Whether it's a path, a piece of media, an annotation, or just a regular page in the book. It will all fall into this comprehensive library that you build. Notice that you can also see which users have recently made changes to the content here in this last edited by column. You can search this library by selecting the kind of thing you're looking for from this drop-down menu and simply entering the title or description over here. We'll discuss these content types and how to create them at length in the upcoming workshop. Now let's look at the bottom of the page. Note this Add New Page button. You can add a new page here at the bottom of the dashboard or directly into the book itself. Either way, your page will appear here in your library. Let's quickly add a page. We'll give it a title. Back to our dashboard. And back to content. Now you can see that the page that we added has appeared. You can also add media from the Content tab in the dashboard. We'll cover this process in depth during the workshop. For now, note that this button at the bottom of the Content tab is where you will go to bring media in from any of these websites at the top or from a location on your computer. That media will then live in your library back here. You can then pull from this library to add the media to the pages of your book. Again, we'll cover that process in the workshop. The Users tab is where you add users to your book so that they can make changes. Many of you may need to add all of your students. To add students here, your students must first have Scalar accounts. To add a new user, click this button at the bottom of the tab. Their name will only appear here if they have a previously created Scalar account. Click Add to add the user to your book. There is a way for your librarian or technologist collaborators to add all of your students globally for you, which may be easier than asking each student to create a Scalar account. Note that you have the role of author. As an author, you have the ability to assign privileges to other users in your book. You can also change your own privileges. I recommend that you remain an author, which affords you the highest level of authority over your book. To make changes to existing users, simply highlight the row so that it appears blue, edit row, and you can make your changes. Let's talk about some of these other user roles. Most of you will want your students to be authors. Other options are editors, commentators, reviewers, and readers. Editors can edit most everything, but cannot make changes to the book's settings. Commentators can edit existing pages and create pages which will be flagged as commentaries to your book's readers. They have no other editing privileges. Reviewers can edit existing pages, but cannot create their own pages. Reader is the very lowest user level. Readers can add signed comments to public pages, but cannot do anything at all in the dashboard. If you need to reference the different user roles, check out Scalar's user guide, which includes a detailed description of each user role. This listed column just has to do with how much credit your user gets for having contributed to the book. If you'd like your students' names to automatically appear on the index page, you can leave this eye symbol as is. If you want to hide their names, simply click that symbol. You can also set the order in which you want the contributors' names to be listed by indicating a number here. Now let's move on to the last tab, the Utilities tab. The Utilities tab can generally be ignored unless you need to import content from one Scalar book to another or prepare the content in your book for export. I recommend working with a librarian or technologist if you decide to make any changes in this tab, as they can also impact the security of your Scalar project. That, in a nutshell, is the dashboard in Scalar. As you are probably beginning to see, Scalar is quite powerful and was made to be extensible. The developers continue to try to consider a wide variety of possible use cases and accommodate those cases. While that does ultimately benefit us, it can make the initial introduction feel overwhelming. If you're feeling slightly intimidated at this point, please don't worry. In a puzzle analogy, all we've done here is unwrapped the box. The workshop is where we'll do the work to help those puzzle pieces we uncovered, the paths, the pages, the media, etc., start to fit together into a cohesive whole.